I'll be surviving the next 100 days as Diamond Shin Sonic in hardcore Minecraft. Using my terrifying diamond powers, I will ravage my enemies, level cities, and speed my way through obstacles while growing into bigger and stronger forms. Will I be able to gather all 7 Chaos Emeralds and defeat Shin Shadow, or will he become a god before I do? It was time to find out, as I spawned into the city in front of the first Chaos Emerald. Once I obtain all 7 Chaos Emeralds, nothing will stop me from taking over the world. Before I could get my hands on the emerald, a missile landed in front of me, launching me back. I looked up to find a military helicopter from gun hovering behind me.
Your reign of terror ends here, you diamond menace. Release the ultimate life form.
The ground trembled as they released the monstrous entity known as Shin Shadow onto me. He was even larger than me, had black and red quills, and had pure chaos energy flowing through him.
At last, I've been freed. Now it's time for me to cut loose and show you all how powerful I am.
Shin Shadow began to use his massive amounts of power to not only attack me, but also the gun helicopter above us.
No, you're supposed to obey us.
I listen to no one. Your mistake was thinking that you could contain me, control me. But it is I who will control everything in this world.
As Shin Shadow attacked the gun helicopter and kept them distracted, I used my sonic speed to run by and snatch the first Chaos Emerald. Power surged through my body as my legs elongated and my mouth tore into a wicked smile. I had reached Form 2, gained 5 hearts, and new diamond powers. Unfortunately for me though, the military helicopter ended up flying away, and my transformation got the attention of Shin Shadow.
Hand over that Chaos Emerald, Faker.
Faker? I think you're the fake monster around here.
You're not even good enough to be my fake.
The beast crawled after me, forcing me to run for my life. On day 2, I was being chased through the city by the massive Shin Shadow. He was incredibly powerful and extremely fast, but my supersonic speeds allowed me to stay ahead of him. You need to give up this chase. I'm the fastest monster alive.
We shall see. Chaos Control!
Without warning, Shin Shadow teleported behind me. He had the power to warp with his Chaos Emerald. He struck me with a light attack, dealing serious damage and launching me into the freeway behind me. He's even more powerful than I am. He tried to land another attack on me, but I managed to use my speed to evade him and take a different route. To my horror, he once again teleported and appeared in my path. No matter where I turned, Shin Shadow was always one step ahead.
I will show you why I'm the ultimate life form.
Just as I was about to be killed, a capsule formed around me. A scientist then approached the capsule. It was Dr. Eggman.
At last, the power of the Diamond Shin Sonic is mine!
The inside of the capsule sent out an electric shock, which caused me to black out. When I woke up, I realized that I was trapped in an enclosed room inside Eggman's lab. I looked and saw that there was a Chaos Emerald linked directly to the room.
This was even easier than I thought it would be.
What are you doing? Let me out of here so I can swallow you whole.
Tempting, but I'm afraid I'll have to decline. You see, with the power of the Chaos Emerald here, I'll be able to drain that diamond energy right out of you. With that power at my side, my robot army will finally be strong enough to conquer this world and reshape it into the Eggman Empire.
You've made a grave mistake, Doctor. This is a power you can't control.
Phooey! There's nothing in this world that won't bend to my genius.
He then activated a control panel linked to the Chaos Emerald, causing it to shock me and begin to drain my diamond power. Unfortunately, it was too much for the machine to handle. The entire lab began to fill with smoke.
What's happening? No!
The cage containing me exploded as it overloaded, and flames spread across the lab around us. On day 3, as the fire spread as a result of the explosion, I saw Eggman snatching up the Chaos Emerald.
I have to get out of here. That thing is going to kill me.
Run all you want, Eggman. I'll chase you to the ends of the earth to satisfy my hunger. Eggman ran out of the lab and shut the door behind him. As I ran over to the sealed door, I spotted something interesting nearby. Did you see that? There are loads of other awesome secrets hidden throughout the video. Try to find them all. I smashed through the door and ran down the hallway to pursue Eggman. I ran after him, my speed allowing me to quickly catch up to Eggman, cornering him as he took a wrong turn and ended up at a dead end. There's no escape.
Oh, you think I'm gonna go down that easily? Get a load of this!
Eggman suddenly activated a button on his jacket and released an electromagnetic shockwave. The blast struck me, but my diamond skin allowed me to endure it. I'm made of diamonds. It'll take more than one of your toys to stop me. I hit Eggman with a diamond attack, disintegrating him completely. He dropped the Chaos Emerald upon his death, and I quickly claimed it for myself. Even more power surged through me, forcing me down onto all fours. My body contorted into something even stronger and more monstrous. I had 5 more hearts and new abilities. Without warning, the room began to tremble. The laboratory had become unstable. I better get out of here before I'm buried. I ran for my life as rubble crashed down around me. On days 4 through 7, I used my speed to try and outrun the collapsing facility. I ran down various hallways as debris fell from above. I quickly stepped side to side, evading rubble as it crumbled over my head. Unfortunately, I was soon forced to stop as a wall of rubble fell into my path. But the power of the Chaos Emerald had made me stronger, and I was able to break through the wall with a mighty attack and keep running ahead. Must get out of here. Must feed on more power. I managed to make it outside just as the exit completely collapsed to the ground. If this is my power with just 2 Chaos Emeralds, then imagine finding all 7. I'll reach my ultimate form if it's the last thing I do. Suddenly, a flurry of bullets fired at me, bouncing off my diamond skin. I turned and realized a squad of gun soldiers had discovered my whereabouts. What took you so long, pathetic humans? They continued to fire at me and charged forward foolishly. I used my raw strength and powers to take them out in waves, decimating their forces. Is that all you've got?
We need backup.
As I finished off the last of the soldiers, Knuckles crashed down onto me, cracking through my armor with his massive fists.
Come on, Sonic. I know you're in there. You can stop this madness.
Don't say that name. I'm Shin Sonic now.
I don't want to hurt you.
I'd like to see you try.
If that's how you want to play this, then fine.
Just then, Knuckles released a massive mech of his own that dropped down from above. He then hopped inside of it and immediately came after me. On days 8 through 10, I clashed with the Knuckles mech, using my diamond powers to try and take it down. Unfortunately for me, it was heavily armored and took barely any damage from my blows. The bot fought back with its fiery lava gun, scorching through my armored skin for massive damage.
Lava melts through Diamond, Sonic. Against a mech like this one, you don't stand a chance.
Ugh, he's right. I need a retreat. I tried to run away from the mech, but unfortunately, Knuckles was one step ahead of me.
Not so fast.
The mech fired magma shots into the sky, landing onto the ground next to me as I ran. The streets around me burst into flames, giving me limited options to escape. I continued to flee, but I grinded to a halt as I was faced with deadly lava blocking my path. The mech was closing in, and I was running out of options. If I'm gonna get out of here, then I'll need to jump my way across this. On days 11 through 14, I began to platform over the lava as fast as I could as the mech began to close in. It continued to fire attacks down onto me, forcing me to jump quickly from platform to platform. Because of this, I found myself having several close calls, nearly tripping into the lava. I'm almost there. I took one last leap and managed to make it to the other side of the terrain. However, before I had a chance to run, the mech struck me with a magma projectile, staggering me.
You're not getting away.
Ugh, are you sure about that? I quickly used my diamond beam attack to destroy the platform Knuckles was about to jump on, causing him to fall straight into the lava. The robot melted down into nothing as Knuckles and another Chaos Emerald spat out of the land in front of me. Another Chaos Emerald. Perfect!
Ugh, get away from that.
I used my speed to grab the emerald before Knuckles could, causing my body to grow even longer and larger. I had 5 more hearts and even more abilities. You're next, Echidna.
This is bad. Activate the emergency protocol.
The ground trembled as another mech dropped in from the sky, this one looking 10 times stronger than the last. You don't scare me! I tried to attack the robot, but it was completely unfazed by my hits. Oh no, I'm out of here! I ran away to find cover as the mech pursued me. On days 15 through 17, I fled the city and soon found myself running through the forest as the new mech chased after me. It fired at me from its Gatling gun arm as it pursued me. It then launched explosive shoulder missiles at me, setting the surrounding forest on fire as it tried to kill me. The flaming trees made it harder to navigate through the forest, slowing me down. I continued to try and outrun the mech, but it was starting to close in. This can't be the end! Just as I thought I was done for, the mech suddenly stopped in its tracks.
Fall back! Fall back!
It immediately gave up the chase and turned around to run away. What the? Suddenly, Shin Shadow arrived into the area. I took cover and hid, knowing that he was even stronger than the previous threat I was facing. He prowled around, surveying the area around him like a predator.
I sense the power of the Chaos Emeralds around here. It will be mine.
As he searched his surroundings, I did my best to try and sneak around him. However, the flames from the forest fire were beginning to deal extensive damage to me as I did. My health was dropping fast. I need to heal before my wounds get to me. Just then, I spotted some lizards fleeing into a den, so I followed them in hopes of having a quick snack that could restore some of my health. I made my way down into the underground den and managed to corner them. However, the lizards began to act strangely. Before I knew what was happening, they mutated and fused together into a terrifying monster. Shin Shadow's presence here. It's mutating the wildlife. Without warning, the mutant lizard abomination lunged at me and I braced myself for battle. On days 18 through 21, I was fighting off the reptilian beast in an attempt to overpower them. I used my diamond attacks to keep them at bay, but the monster fought back with power lizard attacks of their own. I had immense strength, but they had the power of many on their side. We were evenly matched. I'm not letting some reptile kill me. I'll reduce you to dust. I unleashed an empowered beam attack, crushing the lizard mutant once and for all. I ran up and gathered their meat and gobbled it up. It was enough to heal my burns and restore my health. Alright, time to get out of here before… Suddenly, my biggest fears came true as Shin Shadow entered the den and stared down at me menacingly. Before that happens!
I found you, Faker.
I ran deeper into the den as Shin Shadow pursued me from behind. He was fast enough to catch up to me quickly, but I avoided being killed thanks to the fact that he was too big to chase me through the den. When I made it through and emerged on the other side, I found myself in Green Hill. Shin Shadow is powerful. If I want this world to be mine, I need to hurry and find the rest of the Chaos Emeralds.
Not happening.
Without warning, Knuckles arrived once again. You can't kill me! Prepare to die! I chased after him only to step over a leaf trap that he led me into. I landed at the bottom and spotted a signpost marked past and was warped into a flashback. On days 22 through 25, I appeared in a flashback with my friends, Knuckles and Tails, living happily in Green Hill.
Come on, Sonic! Let's go hang at the workshop! I've got this totally amazing new invention I'm working on!
Sounds awesome, buddy! Lead the way! Tails led Knuckles and I through Green Hill towards his workshop, when suddenly I felt a strange force calling to me. I looked and saw a strange room at the end of a bridge. What's that? I made my way over to the room to investigate. Inside were rows of spikes leading to a spooky face with diamond eyes. As I neared it, the eyes activated and strange energy suddenly shot out of it and into my being. A dark force quickly took over my body, transforming me into a new, corrupted form.
The heck is going on, Sonic? It's not like you to fall behind.
Sonic, are you okay?
Tails and Knuckles walked over to me and saw that I'd become a Diamond Shin Sonic. Hungry! I lunged at Tails, but I was knocked aside as Knuckles struck me with a heavy punch, protecting Tails.
Run! He's lost his mind!
I ran towards Knuckles in an attempt to strike him, but he was ready and landed another heavy attack. I turned and ran off, escaping through a tunnel and beginning my rampage through Green Hill.
I don't know what happened to you, Sonic, but I know that I can't let anyone get hurt because of you.
Knuckles ran after me, determined to stop my rampage and return me to my normal self. Before I knew it, the flashback faded, and I woke up in the present at the bottom of Knuckles' trap.
Do you remember? You weren't always a monster.
This is what I am now, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. I destroyed the signpost and jumped out of the trap. I closed in on Knuckles and called upon my monstrous power to chain his hands to two totem poles nearby. Any last words?
I need reinforcements, now!
Suddenly, the GUN mech from before arrived, and I realized this battle had only just begun. On days 26 through 28, the military mech closed in on me and began firing their weapons in my direction. I thought I'd survive, but I quickly realized they were shooting diamond-piercing rounds at me. Looks like you're bringing out the expensive ammo. I'll show you that you're nothing to me. I used my diamond powers to fight back, chipping away at the mech's armor. I thought I was coming out on top until one of the mechs fired an explosive shot at me, causing an explosion beneath my feet. The explosion formed a giant hole in the ground, and I took massive damage. This guy is trickier than I thought. I better get out of here. With no way out, I used my powers to dig my way through the hole to evade the gunfire. I soon emerged into another part of Green Hill to find it had become a wasteland. It was looking a lot more like Sand Hill right now. Shin Shadow must be draining the life force from here. It's making him stronger. I can't let him defeat me. That's when I heard the stomping sounds of Shin Shadow's heavy footsteps. He was nearby, and I could hear his voice echoing around me.
I can smell you, Sonic. You're around here somewhere.
Suddenly, I spotted a flicky flying around in the sky. I could really use some food right now after that close call. I'll have to snack on that flicky to get my health up. Realizing my health was low, I decided to pursue it from below. On days 29 through 32, I followed the flicky across the sandy plains of what was once Green Hill. The flicky took me to a new location, and to my surprise, the next Chaos Emerald was there. It looks like it's my lucky day. I approached the emerald, but before I could grab it, the foolish flicky swooped down and grabbed it. It corrupted the bird and mutated him, transforming him into a horrifying monster. Suddenly, the monstrous bird attacked me. He used a fire breath attack that scorched my diamond skin and did serious damage to my body. I fought back with my diamond shock attacks, but the power of the emerald made him extremely durable. I couldn't do enough damage to him to bring him down. I'm taking that emerald for myself. I blasted the mutated flicky with a beam attack, causing it to drop the emerald. I quickly grabbed the emerald and transformed, gaining 5 more hearts and new powers. You're mine now, you pathetic creature. With the awesome power of the Chaos Emerald fueling me, I lunged at the flicky, attacking him repeatedly and weakening him significantly. With a single lash from my tongue, I pierced the flicky's heart and killed it. I was then able to consume his meat for extra health, healing myself back up. Just then, I turned and noticed someone watching me. Tails took off to try and escape from me. I immediately began to chase after him. That's it! Run! Make it more fun for me! On days 33 through 35, I was chasing Tails through the forest. He was nimble and able to evade between the trees. However, he took a wrong turn and ended up cornered. I approached him, ready to feed.
Oh no! I can't fly through these!
I cut him short, using my tongue to pierce his neck. Tails fell to the ground before transforming into a corrupted version of himself.
Need flesh!
Tails lunged at me viciously, but with a lightning attack, I was able to knock him back. Suddenly, I was hit from behind. I turned and saw that there was another Tails standing behind me. What the? I looked around in horror as I realized that there were many different copies of Tails surrounding me. He had the ability to multiply. As one, they all attacked me. They swarmed me, coming at me from all angles. My diamond armor was tough, but the sheer number of clones allowed Tails to chip away at my health bit by bit. Ah! Get off of me! I slammed the ground and summoned diamond fangs from the earth that chomped all the Tails clones to bits. Eventually, only the original Tails remained. You obey me, got it?
Yes, sir! Won't happen again, sir!
Just then, Gun arrived on the scene and ambushed me.
We're putting you down for good, you monster!
Time to put that power to use.
Tails clones, after them!
Tails multiplied himself once again and sent the clones after the Gun soldiers as they charged in. On days 36 through 39, an epic battle between the Gun agents and Tails clones began. Gun had immense firepower on their side, and as I fought against them, I watched as they gunned down many different Tails clones. However, thanks to Tails' multiply ability, more and more kept coming. We were neck and neck, but gradually the clones began to take down more and more of Gun's forces. Time to end this! I used my ultimate beam attack on the last soldier standing, taking them all out at once. As they died, they dropped a map and I quickly picked it up. Testing facility, huh? I bet they're securing the next Chaos Emerald inside. Let's move!
Yes, my leader!
I set out with Tails and arrived at a maximum security facility. It was heavily guarded from the outside, and there were mechs forming a perimeter around the building. I could tell just by looking at them that the weapons they had could break through my diamond armor. There's no way I can get in there without being spotted.
Don't worry, Leave it to me!
Tails duplicated himself and created an army that flew in towards the facility. He rushed towards the guards and drew their attention.
Hey, that fox has been infected. Get after him.
I ran at full speed, crashing into the facility and breaking into it. On days 40 through 43, I broke into the building, finding the next Chaos Emerald inside. There you are, my precious! I approached the emerald as emergency sirens started blaring. Before I could reach the emerald, one of Eggman's robots dropped down into the room, getting between me and the emerald. What the? But Eggman's gone!
But his tech is still useful.
The robot fired a rocket at me, but I was able to dash to the side at high speed and avoid being hit. The military must be reusing Eggman's inventions to take me down. I ran at the robot and landed a beam attack, but it was extremely sturdy and endured the hit easily. It retaliated with a heavy rocket attack, sending me flying back. I could tell that this was not gonna be easy. It followed this up with missile attacks that I struggled to evade. It was clear that this robot had been equipped with new artillery that made it even stronger than the average Eggman bot. As the robot ran at me, I used my diamond powers to put up a shield of diamonds to protect from its next attack, but it was able to completely destroy it.
Must eradicate little blue menace.
It attacked once more, and I fought back with my diamond attacks, but it wasn't enough to stop the bot. This is getting me nowhere. I need to power up. I used my speed to dodge a kill shot from the Eggman robot and ran over to the emerald. I grabbed it with my tongue and began to transform, gaining 5 new hearts and new powers. I was now in my prime Shin Sonic form, with 4 long arms and the ability to do a diamond spin dash. Armed with these new abilities, I charged into the Eggman robot at full speed, completely destroying it for good. Your master was pathetic, just like you. That was when Shin Shadow suddenly appeared behind me.
Pathetic, you say? I'm afraid the only pathetic one here is you.
Oh yeah? Watch this! I quickly used my spin dash attack, actually managing to land a hit on Shin Shadow.
You've gotten stronger, I see. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to deal with you. I've got bigger plans.
That was when a gun soldier attempted to confront us.
Hey, you guys can't be here.
Perfect timing. Chaos control!
Shin Shadow had transformed him into a massive corrupted monster. The upgraded soldier set his sights on me and ran into attack. Not wanting to face 2 powerful foes at once, I ran for my life. On days 44 through 46, I was chased to the facility by the corrupted entity, finding myself in the chemical plant zone. I ran through the machinery and winding pathways at high speed, but Shin Shadow had made the corrupted guard fast too. He continued to chase me as I ran through the plant. You really think you can catch me? I'm Shin Sonic!
Maybe so, but you better watch where you're going.
I turned around and realized I was headed straight for a pool of acid. I managed to perform a big jump and clear the acid pool. I landed and looked back to see the officer couldn't clear the jump. Unfortunately, this trap was just the beginning. I looked around and realized this entire area was filled with pools of acid. There was a long pipe that led to the other side, and I had no choice but to use it. Knowing that I didn't want to be caught by the corrupted guard, I began platforming over the acid. I was careful with how I moved so that I wouldn't slip and fall into the burning liquid below. As I made my way across, I thought I spotted something interesting. Did you see that? Rewatch the video at 0.25 speed and see if you spot it. I was beginning to near the other side of the acid pit when suddenly the corrupted guard dropped down in front of me.
Nowhere to run now, Hedgehog. You're done for.
I'm not going down without a fight! I jumped at the corrupted officer and our battle began. On days 47 through 50, I was fighting off the corrupted officer. We took swings back and forth at one another. His strength was just as crushing as my own. The officer used his knife hand attacks on me, hitting me hard and nearly knocking me into the acid behind me. I ran at him at high speed and fought him head on with my attacks. I landed several attacks in quick succession, but even with 5 Chaos Emeralds on my side, he was able to withstand my power. Suddenly, I heard a familiar voice call out to me.
Sonic, duck!
Tails flew in, hitting the corrupted officer with a sneaky projectile attack. My foe was left staggered, giving me an opening. I took my chance to strike him down with a finishing blow, knocking him into the acid. Upon his death, the corrupted officer dropped the next emerald, but it began to sink down beneath the surface of the acid. No, we have to get it out of there. Just then, the chemical plant began to shake around us. I looked in the distance and saw that Shin Shadow had entered the area.
Where are you hiding, Hedgehog?
He's coming straight for us! What do we do?
His It's time to see how strong my diamond armor really is. I dove into the acid in an attempt to retrieve the emerald. On days 51 through 54, I sank under the surface of the acid. I took damage from the acid as I swam towards the 6th emerald, which was floating at the bottom. My diamond armor kept me from dying immediately, but I sensed that I couldn't stay under the acid for long. The pain made it difficult to swim, but little by little, I was nearing the emerald. Almost there, just a little more! I swam towards it, grabbing it before my health completely depleted. I transformed. I gained 5 hearts and new powers. I broke through the surface of the acid and unleashed my new electric surge powers around me, igniting the chemicals in the area and causing explosions. I could feel the power surging within me. I'm 1 emerald away from reaching my ultimate form. Unfortunately for me, that's when Shin Shadow spotted me.
There you are.
Shin Shadow was about to attack me, but he was too late. Explosions erupted everywhere. The plant was coming down.
You may have 6 of the Chaos Emeralds, but as long as the 7th is in my possession, you'll never reach your final form.
Shin Shadow used this opportunity to use his Chaos Control to teleport away and escape. Knowing that I would die if I stayed in the exploding chemical plant, I ran away as fast as I could. On days 55 through 57, I was running away as the chemical plant exploded around me. Thanks to my diamond armor, the explosions didn't inflict any serious damage onto me, and I was able to endure long enough to make it out alive. As I escaped, I came upon Tails, who was waiting for me.
Shin Sonic, you survived!
Thanks to your assistance, not bad for a minion.
Well, that's not all I was able to do. Check this out.
He handed me a map he was able to snag while infiltrating the chemical plant.
This map leads to Angel Island. I think Gun is planning something big up there.
If Gun is involved, then it could be big enough to help me get that final emerald from Shin Shadow.
What do you say?
I'll definitely check this out, but you better stay here. Gun is hot on our trail, and I wouldn't want you getting caught before the grand finale.
Roger that, sir. But how are you going to get up there? Angel Island is floating in the clouds.
Huh. I hadn't thought of that.
I think I know a way. Follow me.
Tails led me elsewhere and over to a plane. It was a Tails tornado.
With this plane, you should be able to get up to Angel Island no problem.
You've been most useful, Fox. That Chaos Emerald will be mine. I got into the tornado and flew off into the sky, leaving Tails behind. With the map as my guide, I flew towards Angel Island. On days 58 through 61, the map eventually led me to Angel Island. As the tornado flew over it, I jumped out of the plane and landed down upon its green, grassy surface. So this is where the echidna likes to run and hide to. I began to move forward, but Knuckles suddenly dropped down and stopped me in my tracks.
Sonic, what are you doing on my island?
I told you, I'm Shin Sonic, and I'm here to take what's rightfully mine. Now tell me, what does Gun want with this place?
I'll never tell you. I don't know how you ended up like this, but you're not the friend I once knew. You've become a demon, and you can't be trusted with any kind of power.
Then I'll just have to take it from you, even if it means tearing this whole place down to find it.
You won't harm a single blade of grass on my island.
Knuckles jumped up to attack me, landing a heavy punch that knocked me back. I could tell he was determined to defend his home. He ran in at me, and I struck him with a tongue attack, causing him to stagger. I ran in for a follow-up strike, but he dug into the ground and avoided me. You can't hide from me! I ran around the island in search of Knuckles, but only found tunnels that he had dug through. After a bit more searching, I spotted him digging up to the surface while also arriving at the shrine of a massive emerald. I can feel such power emanating from that emerald. That must be the weapon capable of destroying Shin Shadow.
Huh? You're not getting your hands on the Master Emerald!
Before Knuckles could get to me, Shin Shadow crashed into the ground from above, sending Knuckles flying back off the island.
There it is. The ultimate power.
No! That emerald is mine! As Shin Shadow approached the shrine, I charged in and tackled him away from it, beginning our next fight. On days 62 to 64, I clashed with Shin Shadow, trying to overpower him before he could get to the Master Emerald. It was do or die at this moment.
Playtime is over. Chaos Control!
He used his emerald to teleport behind me and struck me. I turned to try and strike him again, but he teleported once more. This made him nearly impossible to hit. The odds were not in my favor. Stop moving so fast and face me!
Aren't you supposed to be the fastest thing alive?
He appeared behind me once again and struck me with a slash attack, doing notable damage.
I knew you were nothing but a cheap faker.
I'll make you eat those words. I ran at him and managed to knock the emerald out of his hand before he could activate it. Looks like the Chaos Emerald is mine now. I grabbed the 7th Chaos Emerald, mutating into my strongest form yet. I gained 5 hearts and increased strength. Now you'll taste the true power of Diamond Shin Sonic.
Bring it on.
I used my abilities to fight Shin Shadow. With the power of all 7 Chaos Emeralds on my side, I was finally able to put up a good fight against him. We traded several blows back and forth. Shin Shadow was tough, but I was able to evade and counter his attacks frequently. I was starting to get the upper hand. I've got you now!
I think you've forgotten about something.
Shin Shadow knocked me back and ran over to the Master Emerald. He touched it, causing him to transform into a more powerful state.
Finally, power befitting the ultimate life form.
Oh no! He's way too powerful now! I have to run! I sped off as fast as I could, but with the power of the Master Emerald, Shin Shadow was able to strike me with a strange power attack, levitating me into the sky.
So long, Shin Sonic.
He released me from his binding power, and I fell from the sky and into the ground beneath my feet. On days 65 to 67, I crashed down into a cave below the surface. Shin Shadow's blow had my head spinning, but I quickly woke up when I noticed that the cave was filling with lava. I'm gonna get melted down if I don't get out of here. I won't let all of this be for nothing. I tried to climb out, but the walls were too steep. I had to come up with a plan. The longer I spent searching for a way out, the higher the lava rose. I was running out of both options and time. That's when I spotted a crack in the cave wall. Looks like I'm gonna have to take a big risk. I used my new spin dash move to break through the crack. I ended up in a narrow tunnel and ran down it. Unfortunately, I ended up in yet another cave. I landed on a platform that was completely surrounded by even more lava. It was rising towards me. No, I'm trapped. I thought this was the end for me. On days 68 to 72, I thought I was trapped, until suddenly Tails flew down towards me.
Hey, Sonic, I'm here to help!
He landed beside me and pulled out a bucket of water. He dropped the water onto the lava and turned it into obsidian, stopping it from rising any further. Huh, not bad for a weak servant. Now get me out of here! Tails flew back to the entrance he had made, and I followed him back up to the surface.
You got all the Chaos Emeralds. What happened back there?
Shin Shadow got a hold of the Master Emerald. It not only made him stronger, but reduced the strength of my emeralds. I still can't beat him.
Well, if you need something else to get stronger, how about you go for the 3 diamond rings?
Diamond rings? What are those?
They're powerful relics, hidden across the world. I think they can give you the edge you need to finally stop Shin Shadow once and for all.
Tails then handed me a map.
This will take you to the first ring, but hurry, who knows who else is seeking them out?
Thanks, I'll begin my search now. I left Tails behind and sped off to begin my search for the first diamond ring. On days 73 to 75, I arrived at the Studiopolis zone to find that the place was in ruin. The vibrant, bustling energy of the city was completely gone. Someone or something caused a massive amount of damage. What happened here? Who did this? I explored the area for the whereabouts of the diamond ring, only to come upon a film set. The Chaotix team was standing in front of it.
Oh man, this is a disaster! With the city shut down, how are we supposed to film the commercial for the detective agency now?
Just then, I was approached by strange entities that looked like TVs. They had been brought to life by Shin Shadow's corruption.
Shin Shadow will rule all! You must die, faker!
Not while I'm here to stop him! I used my powers as the TV entities swarmed me. Their smaller size meant that I was able to take several of them down, cutting their numbers down in no time.
Bring in the big guns!
Suddenly, a massive TV entity fell down before me.
Your journey ends here, Shin Sonic.
Oh heck no! No amount of publicity is worth this!
The Chaotix ran off as the massive TV entity charged at me, and I braced myself for battle. On days 76 to 79, I fought with a giant TV monster. He used his monstrous blade attacks, doing much more damage than any of the smaller ones had. I tried to fight back with my Diamond Blast attacks, but I wasn't even able to crack his screen. This was gonna be a tough fight. Ugh, you're tough, but I can run straight through you. I ran straight at him and managed to knock him back with my spin dash attack. He crashed into a nearby building, revealing the first diamond ring. There it is! I went for the ring, but the TV monster came back to life, stopping me with a tentacle screen attack.
You won't escape me. This is the end of you.
He unleashed horrifying tentacles from his screen as he ran after me. I was able to jump up to avoid them and speed towards the ring with my spin dash, finally reaching it and grabbing it. I turned as the monster charged me. Sorry, but your show's canceled. The diamond ring released a burst of energy, which shocked the monster to his core and overloaded his circuits, killing him instantly. Suddenly, I grew bigger in size and gained 5 hearts and increased strength. Tails was right about these diamond rings. With their power, I'll overthrow Shin Shadow. Suddenly, a gun helicopter flew overhead. The commotion and destruction of our battle had caught their attention. Oh no, I have to hide, or it's over! I ran off, hoping to take cover before they spotted me. On days 80 to 83, I tried my best to conceal myself from the helicopter above me. As it flew around, I tried to hide behind a building, but due to my massive size, they were able to spot me.
There he is!
I guess I'll have to make like a hedgehog and burrow! Before they could open fire on me, I ran off to find a safe area to burrow into the ground. Eventually, I found myself falling and landing in a hidden cavern. The walls were lined with diamond blocks. This place looks a bit sketchy, but I better take a closer look. I investigated the cavern for any clues that could help me on my quest. As I did, I noticed that the diamonds seemed to be making some sort of symbol on the wall. But I didn't know what it meant. As I was searching for clues as to what it meant, I felt something watching me. But when I looked again, it was gone. Did you see that? Rewatch at 0.25 speed and see if you spotted it too. Just then, I spotted a red gem in the middle of the symbol that the diamonds were making. I curiously touched the gem. But when I did though, strange dark energy shot out into my body, causing me to shrink down to a smaller size. No, my power! I ran, fearing what may happen next if I stayed in this cave. But as I did, I accidentally triggered a trap. The room trembled as pieces of rubble fell around me and lava began to seep in through the cracks. I need to get out of here! I made a run for it, hoping that I would find a way to escape before I burned to death. On days 84 to 86, I was running for my life as lava poured in from all around me. Before the molten liquid could reach me, however, I managed to make it into another room. This cavern I ran into was made almost entirely out of diamond. If this doesn't lead to the next diamond ring, I don't know what will. I explored the area until I saw a wall with 7 empty slots. What's this supposed to mean? Let me through, you dumb wall! I tried to brute force it, but due to my smaller size, I couldn't break it down. This must be some sort of puzzle. I'll have to try something else then. Wait a second, there's 7 slots. I wonder. As I remembered that I had the 7 Chaos Emeralds, I began to wonder if they would fit in the slots. I didn't want to sacrifice them, but I would remain trapped in this temple if I didn't try. I placed the emeralds in the empty slots. I stepped back and observed, but nothing happened. Come on! If that wasn't it, then what could? Just then, the cavern around me trembled for a moment. As it stopped, the door suddenly opened. It worked! I guess that door was just old, but I'm not leaving without my emeralds. I quickly grabbed all of my emeralds and returned them to my inventory. However, as I took the emeralds off the slots, the area began to tremble again. Oh no, I better get out of here before something bad happens. I used my supersonic speeds to dash through the door before it was too late. On days 87 to 89, I arrived in the next room where I found the second diamond ring waiting for me on a pedestal. I knew it. Once I snagged that, I should return back to normal size. Before I was able to grab it, Knuckles dropped down and faced me.
End of the line, Shin Sonic. I didn't want to do this, but if bringing you down is what it takes to save the world, then so be it.
What are you gonna do to me? You're a weakling.
I am an echidna warrior. You don't know the meaning of strength.
He grabbed the ring for himself, causing him to transform into a larger state. His skin was now shiny, cyan armor just like mine. He had become Diamond Knuckles.
You're not Sonic anymore. You're just a freak wearing his face. And I know the real Sonic would want me to do whatever it takes to stop you. You're going down.
He charged in and our battle kicked off. I lunged at him and attacked with electric attacks, but he was even stronger now and could brush them off and keep fighting. He landed multiple blows with his Diamond Knuckles. I felt my diamond skin break apart bit by bit the more he hit me. I used my various attacks to fight back, launching him away. I thought I would have an advantage when he was further away, but he was able to quickly close the gap and strike me again. He was a deadly opponent.
I'll make you pay for everything.
I fought back, but no matter what I did, I couldn't overpower him. He sent me flying into a corner. I had taken so much damage that I could barely move.
You sealed your fate when you made the mistake of going to my island, you abomination. I'm ending this now.
Knuckles ran in to finish me off, and I was helpless to stop him. But that's when one last idea came to mind. Knuckles, it's me, your friend, Sonic. Knuckles stopped in his tracks when he heard my words.
Sonic, are you in there?
He hesitated. I went in for a massive blow, launching him back and knocking the diamond ring out of his body, reverting him back to his normal form. He had been defeated. Haha, you fool! Now that diamond ring is all mine! I grabbed the ring, and my form grew back into its larger state.
Backup needed. Stat.
Knuckles died as gun backup broke into the room in the form of a military mech. On days 90 to 92, I clashed with a gunbot to the best of my ability. However, it felt as though it was able to counter everything I had at my disposal. I used my new abilities on it to try and overwhelm it, but it simply fired the same ability back at me. At that moment, I knew that they had built this machine specifically to adapt to me and counter my abilities. What a cheap trick!
You will pay for what you did. This will be your last stand, you freak.
They unleashed a flurry of blows on me, but my diamond shell had been upgraded thanks to the ring I collected, and I was able to endure the attacks. Is that all you got? I used an attack to try and fight back, not letting up on the machine. For a moment, my blows felt effective, but it adapted once again and became more durable to match me.
Anything you can do, this machine can do too. Deploy the secret weapon now!
Suddenly, they dropped an unexpected attack on me, causing me to take massive amounts of damage. Without much power left in me, my vision was going dark.
You're under arrest, Shin Sonic!
I couldn't hold on much longer and passed out. On days 93 to 95, I woke up inside of the gun facility, sealed in some kind of containment unit.
Look who we finally caught! The ugliest monster of them all!
Let me go! I'm gonna eat you alive!
Oh, I'm sure you could, but I'm afraid that this is where you'll be living from now on. In fact, we have much bigger plans for you.
What do you mean by that? I looked up and noticed that there was a strange device built into the ceiling of my cell pointed straight down at me. It powered on and began zapping me, pulling the diamond rings from my body. Ah! What is this? What are you doing?
We'll rip you of your power and use it to stop Shin Shadow. You monsters thought you could take our world for yourselves? You underestimated humanity. We don't go down so easily.
The machine continued even after it had extracted the rings from me, pulling all 7 Chaos Emeralds from my body. Soon, I was reverted back to my first form. You won't get away with this. When I'm free, I'll make you all pay. Just then, the ground trembled and another guard spoke over the speakers of the facility.
Shin Shadow is here. He's gonna try and take the Chaos Emeralds. Not good. I'll be taking those, little man.
My items then disappeared from the cage and the mech proceeded to shout to his men.
Everyone, battle stations!
I was left alone and I needed a plan. Now's my chance. I have to get out of here. On days 96 to 98, I was bashing on the cell walls in an effort to escape. Unfortunately, I had been sapped of much of my strength and only managed to make a small crack in it. All that effort for a tiny crack? Huh. Well, that's all I need. They may have taken my strength, but they could never take my speed. I backed up to the other side of my cell to get a running start. I then ran forward into the crack at supersonic speeds and managed to run into it fast enough to break through it. I was free. Now to take back what's mine. I sped into the facility building in search of my lost emeralds and rings. I would need them if I wanted to rule the world. As I looked for my items, an intercom above me suddenly started speaking.
Attention everyone! We have a loose Shin Sonic roaming the facility! Stay alert!
That's not good. They're gonna send an entire army to look for me if I don't hurry. I sped off and continued searching for my emeralds. I managed to find the Chaos Emeralds being held within a secure containment unit along with the final diamond ring. Fortunately, it looked like there was nobody protecting them thanks to Shin Shadow keeping the gun officers busy. I sped into the containment unit and broke it open, grabbing the emeralds quickly. I then grew back to my empowered form. Alright, I'm coming for you now, Shin Shadow! Just then, a swarm of military guards entered the room.
Stop right there. You're not going anywhere.
Perfect timing. I was just feeling hungry for a snack. I charged into battle with my powers fully restored to me. On day 99, I faced off with the military guards who were trying to apprehend me. With my new ultimate state, I wiped the floor with them. Out of my way, you freaks! This world will soon belong to me! I then saw one of the guards drop a map titled Master Emerald and realized they knew the whereabouts of Shin Shadow's power. I followed it out to the heart of the city, smashing buildings and crushing everything that got in my way. TV reporters reported the mass chaos I ensued, broadcasting it worldwide.
I'm here live witnessing the terror of Diamond Shin Sonic. Can anything stop his power? Oh, I think he's coming straight for me!
I crushed the reporter with ease and talked to the camera. Did you spot all the secrets? Be sure to rewatch the video and comment below if you found them all. Finally, I spotted the Master Emerald, but Shin Shadow was looming right over it.
Look who decided to show up.
On day 100, I was face to face with Shin Shadow. It was now or never to finish this battle. Hand over the city and I'll make it quick, you monster.
You really think you're the one in charge here? Remember who controls the Master Emerald, you fool.
Shin Shadow then unleashed his power onto me, but my diamond skin allowed me to endure it. But not without pain. Playtime is over. Let's do this! I charged into battle and clashed with the horrifying monster. I knew it was gonna be the battle of my lifetime. I used my diamond attacks while he fought back with slash attacks of his own, neither of us wanting to let the other get an advantage. Even with the power of all 7 Chaos Emeralds and 3 diamond rings, Shin Shadow was still a worthy foe for me.
You fool. As long as I control the Master Emerald, you'll never win. I am better.
Then I'll just have to destroy it and we'll see who is stronger then. I used my Diamond Spin Dash attack to dash through and shatter the emerald in hundreds of pieces.
No! This is impossible!
I unleashed my power and defeated Shin Shadow once and for all. At last, everything is mine!